Talk about what happens after that conversion experience that Sunday.
An intense calling, which I didn't. I've had a phenomenal grandfather, which I heard later continually just prayed and prayed and prayed over me. I didn't know that. My dad didn't serve Christ at all. My mom didn't at that stage. None of my other family members. But I sensed an intense calling for people that was hurt, that was lost, that felt inadequate in life. And it kept going. And then suddenly, I felt I didn't fit in with what was going on in my own home, around me, my friends. People would invite me, and it sounds weird, to parties, and I just didn't feel comfortable. And I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know the word calling or what this was. It was only later in my 20s that I realized, oh my goodness, I think this is a calling. And I went to study accounting, commerce at first, and I love children. I love teaching. I love education. I went into teaching, did a degree in teaching, and afterwards, obviously, theology ended me back to a calling, to a place. I didn't want to be, I think, a reverend or a pastor of a church at all. I thought the church was quite a lazy place. And so I chose the mission field, and I never looked back.
So tell me what you mean by this sense of calling. What was that experience?
I remember when I had actually a sensory experience of the word calling. It was strange. It was as I was praying. I was just sitting there trying to close my eyes, and every time I looked, I saw, it was like a finger of God pointing and said, I've got a special task for you. And I thought, oh my goodness, me? And I was studying in a totally different direction at that time. But I felt it was the finger of God just pointing and said, I have a calling, and I only need the most powerful need ever. It's just 2 words. If you say, yes, Lord, I will do things that will blow you away. And to me, it was that sensory experience. I felt it. I remember just crying and crying. I didn't know how the picture would look and how it would all turn out many years later. But it was that moment of silence, the finger of God showing, and then a loud word, yes, Lord, whatever.
Did you tell anybody about that?
I did not. Simply because I think my own family did not understand. But it was the church I went to and joined that totally understood. I remember a pastor one morning, he just, out of Isaiah, just had a scripture, and he just said, just a simple word, who will I send? And I simply broke down and I cried and cried. They had to carry me out of the church because I could not stop crying. And the pastor looked at me and he said, I know exactly what's going on. You're experiencing a very close, call from God on your life. It's there. I'm experiencing this. I was youth leader in the church, led a few things in the church, and I think through that he knew that there was a calling, just didn't know exactly where. And they helped me and set me up. I had to make a few tough decisions. And
so what were those decisions?
Those decisions were to give up just about everything. Number one, I had to find a wife. I knew that there was a calling, and so that God had to give me that one lady that would stick with me until the end of all days. And so that was the one thing, giving up on what I thought would be my partner for life, or my bride, and until God would show me, and he did. And the second thing, I had to give up not the dreams I had, strangely enough, but I had a certain path set out for me in economics or business, with my background, even into teaching, something I really loved. And I had to give up all those things and then get rid of everything around me if I was going to do this for life. And that was difficult. I have to admit, that was difficult. And then God showed up and did what he did.